Hey, are you thinking about moving to Henderson here in Nevada and maybe two other communities you've heard about are Inspirada and Cadence, but you don't know what the difference is, you don't know the difference between locations and everything else that you need to know about the different areas? I've done this video for you guys to try and explain the difference between Inspirada and Cadence, and at the end of this video, you should know all about both of those communities and if they're going to work for you. And we're going to start right now. So this video is actually recommended by one of my viewers, so appreciate you for recommending this one. And if you guys have any other videos you think that I should cover in terms of topics to do with moving or living in the Las Vegas and Henderson area, drop that down in the comments below, and if I can, I'll absolutely make it happen. This was a great idea for a video, as I have lots of people always asking me, Peter, what's the difference between Inspirada and Cadence? So I'm going to cover that in this video now. So the first thing to note is going to be the location. Inspirada is located to the west of Henderson, near the M Resort and the Henderson Executive Airport. So you will still get the odd airplane noise, private jets mostly from the Henderson Executive Airport. Also, in terms of distance to the Strip and proximity to the airport, you're going to be 20 minutes away from the airport, 20 to 30 minutes away from the Strip. So if you're looking to jet out of town and you don't have a private jet, then it's going to be 20 minutes to get to the airport. And if you're going to want to have some entertainment on the Strip, because it is the entertainment capital of the world and brings in so many tourists to this great city, 20 to 30 minutes to get back to the Strip, which isn't too bad. I mean, I used to commute when I was in the UK, and sometimes my average commute was an hour and 30 minutes. So 30 minutes to me doesn't feel like a long commute, but then for some of you, obviously I understand it will. A lot of you always say, Peter, I need to be close to a hospital. So you're going to be 12 minutes away from St. Rose Dominican on St. Rose Parkway, which is a great hospital. And there's also a new West Henderson hospital opening, which will just be near the entrance to Inspirada as well. So that'll be easily accessible, probably within 5-10 minutes, depending on where you are within Inspirada. Probably around 12 minutes to Costco on St. Rose Parkway as well. And that's a really great Costco, always well stocked, and actually seems to me less busy than the other one in Henderson on Mark Street. So definitely a good one to go and check out anyway, that's for sure. And that's going to be Inspirada when Inspirada is located. Cadence on the other side is on the east side of Henderson. You're going to be around about 20 minutes again to the airport, 25-30 minutes to the Strip as well, depending on where you are within the Cadence community, and also depending on the light situation on Lake Mead Parkway, because there's so many traffic lights that if you hit a red and you keep hitting red, by the time you get to the freeway, you've wasted quite a lot of time. If you have green and it's go all the way, then that's going to certainly cut down that time. I think there's about 8 or 9 different traffic lights along Lake Mead Parkway from Cadence to the entrance to the freeway. And it definitely is frustrating, that's for sure. But that's where it's going to be located. In terms of the local amenities within the Cadence area and how far they're going to be, you're going to be around about 10 minutes to Henderson Hospital, which is a fantastic hospital within Henderson. Around about 10 minutes to Cowabunga Bay, which, as you know, if you've seen any of my other videos, me and my family love going to Cowabunga Bay. It's a great water park. It's definitely a great way to cool down as well from the Las Vegas heat. We normally get season passes for Cowabunga Bay water park, so definitely great that that's going to be on your doorstep. Very close to Water Street as well. Water Street has some great local businesses there, stores and restaurants. Some great views from the top of Water Street as well, looking back down towards the Strip. They have an amphitheater there. They often have a lot of local events that go on, so check out the website and you'll see. I think the next one is going to be something to do with the holidays. I think it might be the Christmas tree lighting, as we're filming this now, coming towards the end of November. But they have loads of other great events that go on all through the year, which is always great on Water Street. Galleria Mall is going to be the other side, and that's going to be very close to Cadence as well. That's the largest indoor mall within the Nevada area. And then on the other side again, you're going to have where I live in Green Valley, and that's going to be about 15 minutes away. And in Green Valley, you have the District, and then you also have Green Valley Ranch Casino, which is a great local casino. So lots to go and enjoy there. Back over by Galleria Mall, I should also mention you have Sunset Casino, which again is another great local casino. So within that local area, you're definitely going to have quite a lot to enjoy. The next point to cover is going to be parks and amenities. So Inspirada at the moment has 5 parks scattered throughout the community. There's actually a 6th park going to be due next summer. And as the community grows, it's still nowhere near completion. There's going to be more parks added. So you'll always be within quite close proximity to a park in Inspirada, certainly ideally walking distance. All those parks are fantastic. They all have different things within them. whether that's going to be children's play structures, whether that's going to be splash pads, whether that's going to be soccer fields, baseball fields. There's heated swimming pools, there's dog parks, there's other little play areas that involve movement and music as well. So a lot of great things to go and enjoy in those parks for sure. There's also 35 miles of trails within Inspirada, sort of connects the whole community and all of the parks. I always see people walking when I'm in Inspirada. It's really fantastic to see. And even the sidewalk is really set away from the road, so it's certainly easy to walk there as well. Also, there's going to be 4 yoga classes a month, and then there's 2 farmer markets a month as well. So that's always great for the community to come out and enjoy together. There's a new Stations Casino as well that's going to be in the area in Inspirada, and that's going to be obviously Stations Casino, so it's going to be similar to Green Valley Ranch and Red Rock Resort over in Summerlin. So sort of feel those styles out. There's going to be about 4 restaurants. There's going to be bowling. There's going to be a movie theater. There's going to be all other types of entertainment that goes on. So that's going to be another great local amenity to enjoy as well. And all in all, the whole thing about Inspirada is it's that type of community where everyone should be out, you know, talking with their neighbors, getting to know their neighbors, you know, building that community and fostering that community spirit. And that's why it has all of these great outdoor spaces, the farmers markets, the yoga classes, smaller yards as well. You know, your yards in Inspirada are going to be smaller, and that's because they want everybody to be out within the neighborhood. And for me, it definitely feels like a community and what a community should feel. In fact, we're looking to move to Inspirada ourselves because we want to be part of that community. So if outdoor living and parks and amenities are important to you, then that's what Inspirada has to offer. In terms of outdoor amenities within Cadence, Cadence itself is built around Cadence Central Park, which is an amazing 50-acre park. There's a lake in the middle and a great walking trail to walk on. I always see people doing laps of that park whenever I'm in the Cadence community. Within that park alone, you've got a splash pad, you've got a children's play structure, you've got an outdoor fitness center thing where it has 7 different workouts. There's an Olympic-sized swimming pool, there's pickleball courts, there's a vast space of green area to go and enjoy. Some amazing views of the strip as well from that park, especially at the top part of the park by the sign that says it starts here. Some amazing views looking towards the city there as well. Then you have another park as well, separate to that one, that's operated by the city of Henderson, and then that has a skills wall. It has a few other little kids play areas. It's got 2 different dog park areas, one for smaller dogs, one for larger dogs. So definitely great if you have dogs as well. You can go and take them to that one. There's another park coming in, I think it's going to be next summer from what I understand, talking to the people in Cadence. It's going to be another park that's going to be within Cadence next summer. Similar to Inspirada, as it grows, because it's still not finished its development, more parks are being added. And then sometimes in the little communities within Cadence, you'll also have separate parks there. I know near the homes where Century Communities are building, there's a nice little park. It's got a couple of baseball fields, a great kids play structure there as well. So it's going to be different little parks, some amazing walking trails within the Cadence community as well. So similar to Inspirada, it's got quite a lot of green space to enjoy, and sort of one of the things I didn't think was a big deal in Henderson or Vegas. I didn't think there's going to be this amount of green spaces, but for me, both Inspirada and Cadence, although they're different, Inspirada has more parks, but they're quite smaller parks. Cadence has that humongous central park and then another couple of parks off that as well. Both of them have great areas to enjoy, if you ask me. We're going to move on to the next point now, guys, but just before I do, just one little reminder. If you haven't already, please like the video, especially if you're finding any value from this content. Also, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and tap on the bell for notifications. I appreciate you all watching, and it definitely helps me know that I'm doing the right thing by giving you the right type of content that you're looking for, by you liking and subscribing, and it really helps my channel grow and get in front of more people. So I appreciate you all for doing that. And also pop a comment in below and let me know what you're thinking about Inspirada and Cadence so far, if it could work for you. The next point to consider is going to be schooling, and this will appeal to you definitely if you have school-age children of any age, or if you are thinking about that in the long term. Now, obviously, Clark County School District gets a really bad rep. It's got a really bad reputation, often ranked as one of the worst within the country, but it's also important to note it's one of the biggest within the country as well. It's probably the 5th largest school district, so it covers a whole spectrum of schools and quality of schools. Some of the other schools that aren't so good do bring down the good schools, and I always say, if Henderson and Summerlin had their own school district, it would really rank quite high. And Boulder City, actually, they would really rank quite high within the country. But because they're all coupled in Clark County School District, they all get tarnished with the same brush, unfortunately, sorry. And then that's why you need to do that research. That's why you need to do that due diligence. And that's certainly what I did. I remember spending ages looking on greatschools.org, on niche.com, on the Clark County School District website itself, and really doing a deep dive on the information and then figuring out from there which way to go. If you are going to be going to Inspirada, one of the best elementary schools is in Inspirada. It's one of the top 10 elementary schools in Nevada. That's Ellis Elementary. Depending on where you are within Inspirada there, you might be zoned for a different school. So if that's important to you, just make sure it's going to be in the part that's zoned for Ellis Elementary. In terms of middle schools, it's going to be Del Webb Middle School, which is one of the, I think it's the 4th best middle school in the whole of Nevada. One of the best in Las Vegas and Henderson. Really great ranked school. Really, as I said, often thought of as one of the best middle schools in the whole area. So Del Webb Middle School is going to be the one for there. Liberty High School is going to be your high school. It doesn't rank as high as some of the other high schools within Henderson. If I'm thinking about Coronado High School or Green Valley High School, it really does have a great sports program and a great band program though. And it does have a link up with a local college as well. So it's not a really bad school is what I'm trying to say in terms of Liberty. It doesn't just rank as high as some of the others, but it's certainly not one of the worst. But that's going to be your public offering. Also within Inspirada, there's a couple of really good charter schools. You have Pinecrest Academy Inspirada, and then you have Pinecrest Academy Sloan Canyon. Both of those are really good charter schools, STEM-based education. It is a lottery to get into them, but then once you're in, it's a really good school. We have a family friend that is in Pinecrest, and they speak very highly. I love it because I think if I remember correctly, their uniform is maroon. That could be coral. I could be wrong. But I love maroon as it's my favourite colour. My favourite team back in the UK, my favourite soccer team is Aston Villa, and that's the colours they wear. So I think, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I could be confusing Pinecrest and coral, but one of them, their uniform is maroon. So I definitely have a soft spot for them just for that reason, which is quite superficial, but they definitely are highly ranked as well. And overall, the level of education in Inspirada, though, is really good. There's more schools being planned for the area, another couple of elementaries, a new middle school as well, and a new high school as the area gets a bit bigger. So also that's going to play into zoning as well. But I think the overwhelming message there is, if you're thinking about schools, I think Inspirada is going to be a great area. In terms of Cadence, the public schools in Cadence, if you look at it on greatschools.org and look at what most of the homes in Cadence are zoned for, it's probably not going to be as appealing, if I'm being completely transparent. I mean, I wouldn't want to talk anyone out of an area based on the schools. I'm technically not allowed to do that, but if we're looking at the data, you'll be able to see the zoning and where Cadence is, and then what those schools are ranked really on greatschools.org. Sewell Elementary is going to be ranked 3 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Brown Middle School, I believe, is also 3 out of 10. And Basic High School is a 5 out of 10. So when you compare those compared to the schools in Inspirada, the schools in Inspirada are a million miles better rated. And that's one thing that I would definitely look at. On the flip side of that, though, there's some really good tuition-free charter schools within the Cadence area. You're going to have another Pinecrest in Cadence, similar to what I mentioned for Inspirada. Coral is going to also be in Cadence as well, and that's going to, again, be another tuition-free charter school, STEM-based education, lottery to enter. And then if you're a Christian and you want to be in a Christian school, then Lake Mead Christian Academy is really highly rated as one of the best schools within the area. Again, tuition-free as well, I believe, and covers a wide range of grades as well. Really highly thought of in this area. And if I was going to be living in the Cadence area, I would definitely be thinking more of the charter schools and trying to enter that lottery as opposed to those public schools. But again, I want to be the source of the source, so these are just my opinions, but definitely do your due diligence and definitely take the time to really research the schools in both areas, if you ask me. In terms of shopping at both communities in Inspirada, it used to be one of the criticisms of Inspirada and Cadence, actually. We'll touch on that a little bit next. But in Inspirada, you've got the shops at Inspirada, which has a really great breakfast place. It's got a great, I think it's a French pastry place, if I remember correctly. They definitely have nice donuts and some nice French pastries there. If it's not a French pastry place, then they're definitely doing French pastries correctly. There's another couple of there's like a UPS store, there's a 7-Eleven, I think there was a dental place there as well, an animal hospital place there, and a few other little stores there as well. Then you're going to have Bicentennial Parkway. There's another set of stores there as well. There's also a Starbucks. There's a great bar as well to go and check out that sometimes has live music. And then just outside of Inspirada, you've got Anthem Highland Shopping Centre, which has a vast array of stores. You've got an Albertsons for your groceries. You've got, I think there's a Chase, there's a Wells Fargo, and there's probably a Bank of America there. So you got all your local banks there as well. There's a Hawaiian barbecue. There's another bar there as well. There's a gym there, and another Starbucks, and lots of other things to go and enjoy there as well. So definitely not going to be too shy on the shopping and having to travel too far. There's also going to be, as I mentioned, 4 stores with the new casino. There's going to be some stores opening there when the casino opens up as well. So then that's going to add more stores. And again, as Inspirada grows, there's plans for more commercial outlets to be within the area and easily accessible for the area. But as it is now, then that's what's going to be available. And, you know, you got quite a decent selection, if you ask me. In terms of Cadence, there's not really so much. Like Inspirada has the shops at Inspirada and Bicentennial Parkway as well. Outside of Cadence, or just within Cadence, you do have Lake Mead Parkway, and on Lake Mead Parkway there's a new Smith's Marketplace that opened up, which is fantastic. It's humongous. Even has a little bar within it as well. So definitely go and check that out. It's not like your normal Smith's or Kroger grocery store. It's on a bigger scale. Lots more things in there than just your groceries. There's a brand new Starbucks there as well, which opened up recently. I remember I worked with the actual store manager there that's there now. I was training with her at the same time, and I was a store manager in Starbucks. So definitely pop in and say hi to Aisha, who's the manager there. And then you're going to be close to Water Street. Water Street has a load of local stores, local businesses as well. As I mentioned already, some great views on Water Street and a lot of local events that go on within Water Street as well. And then Galleria Mall is within touching distance of Cadence, really, and that's one of the largest indoor malls within the whole of the Nevada area. So although you don't have as much directly within Cadence, access to all these other ones is really easy and definitely gives you lots of options depending on what you want to do for grocery shopping or what you want to do for other types of shopping, clothes shopping, whatever type of shopping it is you guys do these days. If it's not online on Amazon like my wife, then you'll have those options here as well. In terms of the market in those areas and those local market, if we look at action on the last 30 days, for instance, and obviously we've come to sort of a slower point of the market, and, you know, rates have been quite high as well. But if we look at the last 30 days, we can see how many homes were sold in Inspirada, and then they average a value of around about $488,000. You can see the actual list price, the average list price was a little bit higher the last 30 days, but I want to concentrate on what was actually sold, what actually closed, and you can see it was $488,000. Now this is just homes off the MLS, so this doesn't really include new homes and new construction, more so the MLS. But if we just based it on that, you can see that that's the average price point. You can also see there's been quite a few reductions as well within the market, and that's understandable with the way the market is. There has been a lot of new construction going on though, and a lot of new construction sales within Inspirada. The 3 main builders are KB, Tri-Point and Toll Brothers. So you have a different array of options between townhomes, single family homes, and even luxury condos as well. And then they would obviously add into those figures. So I think the actual average price point is probably going to be a bit higher than that, but that's going to be factoring new construction as well. But that's just to give you a rough idea. When we compare that now to Cadence, you'll sort of see the differences there as well. So within Cadence, you can see the last 30 days, the average cost of the home sold has been around about $462,000. You can see there's probably been slightly more sales within Cadence on the resale market. Again, though, similar to Inspirada, there's a lot of new construction sales within the Cadence area, and they have a huge amount of builders there. There's so many. I think there's like 9 or 10 different builders. There's Woodside, D.R. Horton, there's Lennar, there's Century Communities, just to name 4 off the top of my head, but there's definitely a lot more than that. And because of that, again, those numbers are probably slightly skewed. But just to give you a ballpark idea of, you know, probably the average home in Inspirada is going to cost slightly more. Probably in Cadence, even on the resale market, some of those homes are going to be slightly newer because Cadence is a newer community than Inspirada. Both of them are new, but Inspirada's probably a few years older, a few years more developed. But in terms of the average price point now, you can sort of see there's probably about a $20,000-$30,000 difference. And that's, you know, Inspirada's going to always be more. Inspirada's hugely in demand as well, so that's what keeps those prices slightly higher as well. And then the last point is just going to try and tie it all together and talk about maybe some of the future developments as well. So as I said, Inspirada has the plans for the new casino, that's already been approved, so that's going to start work soon, and that's going to be fantastic for the area. There's also going to be the new West Henderson Hospital, there's a new fire station, so you can see there's a lot of services coming to that West Henderson area where Inspirada is, and that's going to, as Inspirada grows and more things get added, then that's going to definitely add to the appreciation. I can only see, and you know, a few of you have had this conversation with offline and you guys have reached out, and that's why it's always important to reach out to me. I'll always add my details there at the bottom of the screen, and we can have these conversations, and I'll always be honest and transparent. I definitely see the values in Inspirada going up above the curve. I think property values over time will always hold their value and mostly go up anyway, but I think Inspirada is going to be going up above the curve because there's so much going on and so much being added into that community. It's such a hugely desirable area. A lot of people who move to Henderson with all different types, whether they've got a family, they're starting a family, whether they are a little bit older but they still want to be within a community. A lot of people want to move to Inspirada within this area, and the prices aren't out of reach at the moment as well, so it's definitely got that desirability factor. And when you add in what's going to happen in the future and all that future development, I can see why Inspirada is so popular. And you know, I can speak for myself because I definitely want to move my family to Inspirada. We're happy in Green Valley. It's not an awful area, but I just think long term Inspirada is going to be so much better for me and my family, and we're going to be able to enjoy so many great memories there as a family. So that's Inspirada and what's going on there and the future there. On the flip side, Cadence also isn't completed yet, and there's still a lot more homes. There was plans before COVID for a casino to be built sort of at the start of Cadence, but I think that's now turned into apartments. If I correctly remember when I drive past it, I think it's sort of been built in that the area that they had earmarked for the casino has sort of been turned into apartments. And then like Inspirada, there's also townhomes and single family homes. Still not finished, so there's still a lot more development going, but I just feel Inspirada is going to have more commercially going on than Cadence. Cadence is still a fantastic area. I still think it represents great value because the prices are sort of more reasonable than Inspirada, especially on some of the new construction homes. I had someone over the weekend looking at a new home in Cadence, and for what they were getting, a 5-bedroom home for the low 500s, it was incredible, and you certainly wouldn't get that in Inspirada. It's amazing. So you're going to get good value, and that good value doesn't mean you're getting into a bad area. It's just not as desirable, say, as an Inspirada. But sometimes when you have those areas that are not as desirable, that's where the real value can be found. You can get real bang for your buck, but still in a nice community, in a nice area. So it's going to come down to personal preferences. As I always say, you know, this comes with a caveat of, apart from some of the statistics that I've shown, this is my opinion. I'm just being honest and transparent. I'm not Googling someone's blog post and regurgitating that for you. I'm giving it you from my experience. So not everyone's going to agree, not everyone's going to disagree. Definitely let me know your comments down below there, and I'd love to hear what you think of those two communities. And that's it, guys. That's a quick comparison of Inspirada and Cadence. Hopefully you found it useful. Hopefully it's answered a few questions. Thank you again for the shout out and the suggestion in my comments and asking me to do this video and cover this topic. If you have any other topics you want me to cover, then pop that down in the comments below. If you haven't already, then please like the video. Also tap on subscribe and the bell for notifications, and you'll be amongst the first to know about the local market and everything going on here in the Las Vegas and Henderson area. And then just as a reminder, one final reminder, if you are considering moving to Las Vegas or Henderson, please do get in touch. I really do love getting to know you all, getting to be part of your journey, and most importantly, helping you make an easy, stress-free move to the Las Vegas and Henderson area. So all my details are below. You can reach out however you're comfortable, whenever you're ready, and then I would love to be part of your journey. But until the next time, thank you for watching. You take care.